Hello and welcome along and welcome to this first look at Stone Valley. This is an American DEM map. It is created by Lancyboi and it is yet for release. This is still in development, although it is nearing completion. So any issues or errors we find today, we will report back to Lancyboi. So yes, this is an American DEM map. It is based in on an area in central Illinois in America, and yeah, it's big. I think is the thing. I have had a brief look around already, and I have to say I am in love with this map. This map is absolutely gorgeous. If you like your maps, big American with lots of distance to them. It's incredible. We are going to be using this piece of kit to drive around today. This, if you've seen my series on Lone Oak on Twitch, then this is our vehicle of choice on there. This is the Ford Velociraptor. So we're going to be driving around the map with that. But a few bits to cover on the map first. Let's have a look at the map itself. And as you can see, yeah, so it's a DEM map. It is a big American map. It is a 2x map. It will be available for PC and console is the idea. So this is going to be submitted to the mod hub. A total of 37 fields, as you can see, of sort of varying shapes and sizes, but they're all sort of roughly rectangular, roughly squared edges, as you would expect on a map of this type. It's got a real-life case vehicle shop that is located at the top of the map, and we will check that out later. 3 selling points. So we've got a selling point up here near the shop as well. We have, I think, if we zoom in a bit, we've got one down here as well. That is a grain selling point. And then I believe that's not it. Where is our third selling point? I think our third selling point is actually over this way. No, we do have a third selling point. Oh, yes. Yeah, so we've got 2 up here. We've got the cafe, we've got the grain sell point there, and we have the grain sell point at the bottom there. So those are our 3 sell points. We've got 3 farms, so we've got this one here, we've got one over here, and we actually have one over there, which is quite a way out of our way, so I don't know if we'll make it over to that one. And it's got custom transport missions and field missions, so contracts, very much a thing on here. I've actually moved it across to the second day, so you can see it has pretty much on every field a contract on here, which is absolutely brilliant. Really nice to see a map with that level of stuff. Really important on this map, as you'll see in a moment, for start from scratch. It has custom soil textures, distance textures, grass textures, and ground textures, which again you'll see as we drive around the map is really quite amazing, the distance textures on this map. Custom lighting, animated objects, and brand new custom made farm models for specific to this map. Lots of real life places have been modeled for this map. And yeah, that is going to be our map. So we're going to have a look around it. Let's have a look around this farmyard quickly, because these are, so the house here, this of course is from Lone Oak. The dog is doing a Spider-Man impression. Yeah, so this is the house from Lone Oak. This has been added with permission from Bullet Bill and an Oxygen David. And yeah, is very nice. Fits into this map very well. But most of the rest of these barns and everything are custom to this map. I should say, the Lone Oak house, the house on the farm, that does not have a sleep point. So there's no sleep point when you start. You can place your own house or deck chairs or whatever and add a sleep point in. Doors, the same as all doors that have close placed triggers. You need to step back and step forward. And you can see these barns are beautiful. We do have a couple of combines here, and I will go over the equipment before we finish here. Yeah, custom barns. that have been made specifically for this map. Light switches around as well, so it's got nice custom lighting on the buildings as well. Looking, yeah, really nicely built models for here. And we've got a grain store over there. We've got a seed point there. We've got another barn over here, which I think is housing the starting tractors. And then over here, nicely on the farm, we also have a workshop with a lot of case stuff. And this is very much a case-focused map in the branding that's around it. So let's jump in this, if not in the machinery at the moment. So we'll jump in this. We'll drive around here, and we're going to head south to begin with. And this is where you can start to see these distance textures on this map really kick in. Just look at how far you can see on this. And this is one of those maps that just, you drive along it and it just is utterly gorgeous. I mean, that is amazing. This just takes my breath away. Just gives this massive impression of a huge amount of distance. And the bit you can see popping up at the edge there, that is the border of the map. So the border of the map is marked on here. There is this hedge around the whole map. But this here, we seem to be on the crest of a hill, almost, for this bit. Which means those pull up. You'll see what I mean by that later. So we've got another farmyard down here. So the beauty of not having a house or a sleep point initially set up is that when you come in, you can actually go and set up at any of these farms if you wanted to. They all have sort of custom lighting and things, and you can see over here. This is a, you know, nice, really nice barns built for this map with some nice features on it. Grain silo here. We also got another barn around here. I think this opens up. Yeah. Again, another nice barn. Of course, the thing you got at the moment, you've got the workshop at that main farm. But otherwise, yeah, you could set up your own little farm here if you wanted to. Now, I'm going to just pop into this screen here because we're going to cover what you start with. So, on here, we are on New Farmer. You start with 25, 20, and 12. These are quite a bit of money's worth of land. I mean, 12 is nearly 3 million. 20 is where the starting farm is. That is 728. And 755 for the location of field 25. I would say you're looking, the cheapest I think I've found on this map is field 8. Field 8 is 349,000. So if you're on if you're doing farm manager on here, you've got 1.2 million. You're gonna be, you might get that and one other bit to start with, and that's your money all gone. So there's a lot of, I think you're gonna have a lot of work to get either out of farm manager or start from scratch. Start from scratch. You are going to have to start a contracting business on this map, I think. I think there's little other way to start with 500,000 and work your way up, because you are looking at most of this being just under or well over a million. There's no really little areas on this map, and I wouldn't expect it on a map like this. This is, properly a big American map. I would expect big machinery, big costs, quite a bit of work to get yourself running on here, which means that actually for start from scratch on this would be a wonderful challenge. I think you'd have to go and spend a whole ton of money on equipment and then just work up a bit how we did, a bit like we did on the Sutton Farms series early on in Farm Sim, where we basically spent all of our start from scratch money on equipment and then just did contracts until we could afford land. So this is the grain sell point down the bottom. I love the detail in these sell points on this map. I mean, these are modelled from real life ones, and you sort of stand here and you take that in, and that is just absolutely gorgeous. absolutely incredible, that building. And yeah, as I said, comes from a real life one. And you can see here, so telling where the edge of the map is to the west there, that is really difficult. We do have, as you can see, where we are, we do have 2 more sets of fields. So it is there, but because of the way the land is, and actually just demonstrate this going the other direction more easily without us having to backtrack on ourselves. And there is a farm out that way, actually, towards the edge of the map. But you can see, actually, you can see here how the land dips towards the edge there. But it just... I love the infinity of this map, almost. Yes, the edge of the map is marked, but beyond that, it just looks like it continues. Really nicely continues. We've got the wool factory here. That is where, of course, you sell your wool and your cotton. And then I'll go zoom right out so you guys can get a full view of this terrain. So it is very wide, it is very open. I don't think there's lots of American maps where I feel it's not a very interesting set of scenery. But this map is just gorgeous. The distance and the feeling of being on those wide open plains is just amazing. And you can see, actually, this is what I was talking about demonstrating, especially if you're down to the ground level. The edge of the map is the other side of field 13. Because it dips down, you can't see it. You can't see that coming in. And it is just absolutely brilliant. Really nice work from Lancyboi on that. So we'll zoom out again so that our car is just a really small thing in the middle. And again, you can get a feel for the size of the fields on this map. This is a stonking great, I need massive machinery map, this one. Absolutely is that. Nice little bit to our right here. This is a placeables area. So if you want to start your farm completely from scratch with no buildings or anything, because all of the other farms, the buildings remain there. There's very little that actually gets removed. You've got areas on the map like this. I think there's sort of 2 or 3 areas on the map that you can start your own, build your own farm and sort of got your own entrance set up, which I think is pretty cool. I really like that. And then, yeah, and so while you can see these distance textures a lot from up here, again, we get down to this ground level, and it is just, you know, that looks right. That looks really, really awesome. And it blends, these distance textures actually blend really, really well. And if I go in cab, because I love the in cab on this car, look at that. That is just, that is properly nice to sort of move around like this on this map. And it feels like it's alive, this map. Really does from that. So, yeah, I love that a lot. I really do. We actually have a farm over that way, which is a starting point. This here is a sell point. So I believe this has a, yeah, we've got a grain sell point here. So I say 3 sell points. I don't think this is a grain store. So this is another farm you could set yourself up as. So that's a grain store there. This is the sell point. So that is a bale sell point in that hayloft. Really nice. Again, you got a couple of nice barns here. You could set yourself up at any of these farms really, really nicely. Now, one thing that isn't on this map, because it's not something that exists really in the real life area, is that there's no animals on this map. So as it stands at the moment, there is no animal market, and there are no farms that have animals built into it. So if you want to do animals on here, you can. There is space to build that into the map, but what you will find is that you have to buy and sell at your animal pens. You won't be able to take your animals to sell anywhere unless there's a placeable animal market available anywhere. So we've got another satellite farm here. So while it says there are 3 farms available on the map, what I think that means is there are 3 farms that have silos on them. So we've got our home farm here. That's got a silo on it. I think we can we select it? There is a silo at that farm there. There's a silo at this farm here. That's the bale silos. There we got farm silo. And so I think we've got one other farm here. That's a lime station. Maybe we do not have another farm, because there's several other places I would say. Yeah, there we go. So those are our 3 farms. So we've got one there, and one there. Having said that, you could set yourself up at that farm there. You could also set yourself up at that farm there. So, and you could set yourself up at this farm here. So there are plenty of farms on here. Just 3 that are initially set up. But yeah, there are plenty of farms on this map, and it actually makes it a fantastic multiplayer map as well. Then, as a result, and I think I will say this is my plan going forward is eventually on Twitch, we will replace the multiplayer that we're doing on there with this map, because I think this to do multiplayer on with some big machinery and having fun, and maybe opening it up so if people want to have their own farms during the multiplayers, they can, and they can work their own farms. So yeah, that will be cool. So yeah, sell point here. This is the main big grain area, and yeah, look at that. That is just an incredible piece of work here. Absolutely loving that. And this is the beauty of this map. This is where this map just really comes into its own. These new models on it are absolutely brilliant. We've got the cafe over here. So this is a sell point. I'm not quite sure what this is a sell point for. I think we'll go over all the sell points at the end and just see what we can sell where. And then you do have this large placeables area here. So if you wanted to set yourself up near the grain store at the top of this map, you really could. There's a placeables area, you can do it. Here we have our equipment merchants, or our machinery shop. This is based on a real life case dealership, which is quite good. Central Illinois AG, and yeah, in here is where you have your purchase point. So you can come in here and buy your equipment. And then I think if we go out here and pop into this shed, I think, yeah, there we go. We also have over here the repair and sell point here for equipment as well. So, yeah, that is located in there. And then we want to turn around. Can we head out that way? We can't head out that way. Just there's a sort of just a barn there. So what actually, if you did start from scratch, and I'm kind of wondering, can you buy this area up here? So how much? So field 5 in this. So 1.67 million. It's actually, that's more than you could afford as a thing. So it'd be quite nice, I think, if you could just buy a shop or something there. I don't think there is anywhere really that's purchasable like that. 19 is 764. Yeah, there's none of the satellite farms. None of the farms are really in small, affordable spaces. You're looking at buying, you know, quite large areas with whatever farm you buy. So I think you would have to set yourself up here unpurchased. I've opened the rear of my truck. There we go. Right, so we're going to head on and explore this wonderful, huge map. And there you can see the edge of the map. Really, I actually really quite like the texture used on those hedges at the end. While it's repetitive and while it does make the edge of the map obvious, it doesn't make it horrible. You know, it looks nice. It's not. It's as I said before, it's not got that infinity feel at the edge of that exists at the edge of Lone Oak. But I don't think on this map that's necessarily a bad thing, because if you're spending most of your time on the large fields in the middle of this map, you're not going to see the hedgerow most of the time. And it will just... Making a map feel this open is quite a difficult thing. It's one of the things that's... yeah, it's one of the things that Welcome almost pulls off as well. But because it has the issues with its edges, I find it a little bit more difficult. But yeah, I am loving the feeling of the wide open space on this map. It is not... You would expect sometimes feel like a map like this would be a boring map. I know. I think I absolutely love... I love the opportunity that this map is going to have. Because it is just massively wide and open and just great. So we have a point in here which is... a lime fill point, so this is where you can grab your lime from that there. Little else that this yard has. Again, I think it'd be nice to have a yard or two. So start from scratch. You could have like a $30,000 piece of land, which is just a shed where you can store your stuff. Start from scratch. I mean, you could do that up at the. You could just use that shed up at the shop actually, and base yourself out of there without actually owning the land. But obviously you can't make changes to it. But you've got all the facilities you need up there. So you could do that, and that is probably the cheapest way to do it. In here we have the BGA. So you've got BGA silos there. You have the sell point for it there. Once you've got the silage together, and then you've got your refill point here for the digestate that will come out. And I'm just thinking on this map, you could absolutely do a huge whack of corn on here, and sell and just do a massive amount of silage. I think silage on here would be gorgeous with the size of these fields. Just the amount of money you could earn on fields on this map would be immense. Would be absolutely incredible. And then that brings us back around here and back around to our farm. And in this entrance here. So yeah, absolutely wonderful map this. Really, really nice. A lot of detail, a lot of great looking stuff on it. I love it. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun on here when it gets released. Yeah, we are gonna put this onto the server on Twitch, and we are just gonna have a load of fun with the multiplayer on here. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Let's have a look at what we have in our garage, shall we? Now, caveat on this, I have spoken to Lancyboi about the garage setup on here. He's asked me to take a look at it and send over what I would do for this. So, I'm going to be making my suggestions to him, and I'm going to send him over a vehicle XML that has what I think would be a great setup on here. Because as you'll see at the moment, I think we're a little bit underpowered for the size of this map. So we've got a John Deere 6135M, a Case Maxim CVX115 as the two tractors. So about 145 horsepower on each of them. We start with two John Deere T560 combines. I think two combines on here, it would be a great starting setup. Would be wonderful for multiplayer and actually for single player as well. I think you set two combines off on a field here, and that would be brilliant. That, of course, we added the Ford Raptor in ourselves, so we'll ignore that for now. You've got a TKD 302 Agroliner trailer. You've got a John Deere 625X header and 618C header. So we've only got one of each header for the combine. So yeah, I think you'd want two of each for that. We've got a Horsch Tiger 6DT cultivator. This takes 300 horsepower, which of course neither of our tractors can pull at the moment. We've got a Spirit R300S seeder, which is a 3-meter seeder. We've got two Sewer 1,000 kilogram weights. We've got a dog house, which you've seen him running around. So yeah, you've got dog on here from the start. We've got a large grain silo and a silo extension. I think we've got several of those. Lizard seed tank and a water station. Interesting that we only have one silo that is sellable. The others aren't. So I'm guessing because we own this farm, from the start and not the others, That is why that is why this one is sellable and the other two aren't, because you don't own them. They're not part of your land. And that's actually something I want to come across. I want to talk about for what I want for FS21 eventually as well. Is a feature along those lines. So there we go. That is our main farm. That is where it is at. I am liking this map. I am loving this map a lot. I think the potential to have a really awesome big multiplayer with some really big equipment on here is great, is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, we'll be doing that at some point. I'm looking forward to the release of this map. I will keep you all informed as to when this map will be released. It is planned to be released, as I said at the start, on PC, on PlayStation 4 and on console. Which means that, yeah, hopefully you will all get to experience this. And there aren't that many American maps available. Or American maps like this available on the mod hub, so that will be a good thing to see as well. But that is where I'm going to leave this first look, and that means that all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this first look at Stone Valley. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel and ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.